Hi, this is John Crowley from UTV Guide. We're out here in Moab with Kawasaki testing the all-new Teryx KRX 1000. All right, so the KRX 1000, it's a naturally aspirated car. It's not a turbo, so if you're looking for a turbo, you're gonna either have to wait for the aftermarket version for this car or find something else. But what this car is, it's a great car for trail riding, dunes, not so much, but desert, any forest trails or anything like that. It's got great suspension, good wheelbase for rough terrain. So today we ran 7 Mile Rim. And if you haven't ever been here before, 7 Mile Rim has, it's mostly a desert trail, but there is some rock crawling as well. So it was really awesome to be able to open this thing up, get on some fast trails with some whoops and some G-outs and see how the suspension works. Really happy with what it did today. Pretty much mash the throttle and go through any of the rough stuff. And it stayed pointed straight, soaked everything up, stayed well planted, and really impressed with the suspension on the KRX. Another thing I really like about the KRX is the cab. It's got lots of leg room in it. I'm 6'1", and it feels very comfortable for me. You can adjust both seats, so passenger and the driver. In situations like this, I 2-foot drive quite a bit, and it felt comfortable getting both feet in there on the brake and the gas without a problem. Steering wheel tilts. I did feel like the steering wheel is a little bit farther away from me than I'd like, so you can fix that with an aftermarket steering wheel with a deeper dish, but it would be nice to have a telescoping steering wheel. What I especially liked on it was rock crawling. We just did Poison Spider, which certainly isn't the most extreme trail here, but it gave us a good idea of how it does in the rocks. Things I like about it: low range is spot on. It's nice and low for technical rock crawling. It's got a centrifugal clutch, which means your belt doesn't slip whatsoever. I think I could have done that whole trail in high gear and not blown a belt. The approach and departure angle on this car is fabulous. Both the front and rear tires stick out in front and behind the car, so you're not hitting anything but tires when you're coming up to an obstacle. It comes with 31-inch tires, and that works pretty well. I know for certain you could fit a 32 on it and clear in the desert. I bet you could fit 35s on this thing if you're just rock crawling. Now we ran it with all factory settings with the sway bars connected and higher air pressure than you'd want if you were just rock crawling. But that's the way it is, and that's the way we tested it. And it worked really well here in Moab. So for rock crawling, one of the things you need is a good skid plate. Now the KRX 1000 comes with a steel skid plate, and I'm not a big fan of that. But the good news is they've got a genuine Kawasaki aftermarket accessory that is a HMW skid plate. It actually comes up here and gives you good side protection on your rockers. Covers the whole bottom, and you can also get A-arm guards and trailing arm guards on it as well. And having that backed by the steel is a great scenario for rock crawling because it allows you to slide over the rocks instead of stick and bend that belly. So good setup, but you definitely need to, if you're going to rock crawl, you need a skid plate. The KRX 1000 also comes with a low power mode. That might be great for a novice rider in the rocks that doesn't know how to modulate the throttle very well. But for me, I rock crawl all the time, and I had absolutely no problem with the throttle. It's not lurchy at all, very smooth. It's got power when I need it, and I find the low power mode just completely a waste of time for me. But it might be worth it for a novice that's coming out in the rocks. Couple other things I want to mention. It does come with dual rate springs with a crossover, so that's really good for rough terrain. And also in the bed, it's got a really nice bed setup that'll hold a 32-inch tire. But they've also, if you want to carry more than just a tire, you've got a full accessory from Kawasaki that can hold the tire up higher and then retains the bed. But it's big. It can carry a lot of stuff for adventure rides. So if you're looking for a trail machine that's built on a super stout chassis, the KRX 1000 is definitely worth a look. It handles everything we threw at it the last couple days in Moab, and I would have no problem going on adventure rides and taking this thing in the desert, on the rocks, and everything in between.